All right. Hey, everybody. Capt Ron here for this week's episode of Fearless Flight Live. It must be because it's Tuesday again. Holy cow, where does the time go? Man, oh man. I can't believe that time is going this fast. I swear the older I get, the faster it goes. So, and I've had validation from some of my senior citizen friends too. So we're apparently all getting in the same boat together there. We're in the post-birthday atmosphere of Diane. Had a great birthday party last Saturday. Happy birthday again, Diane. It was a lot of fun. And you had friends there from high school, right?
I did. I had one friend came all the way from New York. A couple more came. I had a bunch of people come in from Texas. And and Dieter, of course, came all the way from Toronto. And we had people all the way from Ahwatukee.
And that was no small feat for Dieter, because this is what Dieter ran into, right?
Yep.
Wow.
I was gonna fly out of Detroit on Thursday evening, but we got hit by an ice storm up, in the Great Lakes, lower Great Lakes region. And this is literally what we saw on the highway. So I couldn't fly out of Detroit.
But in my car, I'm in control. So I don't have to worry about that. It's only in the airplane that I'm not in control. Yeah, right. So, and Eric pointed out that white stuff there, that's not snow. That's ice, isn't it, Dieter? That
yeah,
looks like
so that's these are ice pellets. Yeah, it's not snow.
Okay.
I wouldn't want to walk on that.
Oh,
No
that's why we all live down here, Dieter.
Well, right now I'm really enjoying it down here.
Yeah.
I have an offer. I have an offer on my house today.
From a Canadian investor.
Yes.
Wait a minute.
All right.
No one's put an offer in my house. No.
All right. So, and of course, the comedian there was none other than Eric. And talking about that, we want to remind everybody that Birds of a Feather, our private Facebook members only group, is up and running and thriving. So if you haven't joined it, please consider doing that. And tonight we got a show planned for you here. I'm just going to talk a little bit. We're looking for your comments. We want to hear more from you. I'm getting sick and tired of listening to me. Whoops. And I can't believe nobody else out there is. I know my cohorts are getting sick and tired of listening to me. So we want to hear from you. And we're going to talk about our Fearless Flight app. We haven't been giving that as much attention as it needs, as it deserves. We're going to, many of you may have noticed that you got an email from us today about this 301 graduation flight. Do we do everybody or just people up in the Northeast, Dieter? I forgot. We were talking about it.
We did everyone because I want to talk about the survey that we also sent out, and I'm going to post it later, but I want to talk about it a little later in the show. Okay.
And then any questions, please leave them in the remarks. And as we try to interact you, leave comments for us there. My three cohorts are watching closely to see questions coming in. We don't want to miss those. We'll talk briefly about the monthly live coaching webinar coming up on March 16th, and we'll talk about our Fearless Flyer Club a little bit. There's a lot of really, really good things happening, and we want to keep you guys involved. The first thing I want to talk about was what does it mean to be afraid to fly? So if you're out there and am I still sharing my screen? I forgot. I lost track.
It's all four of us.
Yeah, it's the four of us.
Okay, cool. Okay, yeah. Okay, so what does it mean to be afraid to fly to you? What does that mean to you? So if you got a comment, put it in the remarks there. If you're on the Facebook page there. And I'm looking for whatever it means to you, but things like, it's costing me a job promotion or a job opportunity, or, or my spouse is threatening to leave me, or, or the families, had a mutiny and they're going without me. We'd like to just see some comments down there, because I've been getting a lot of questions about people. We've been thinking about that and looking kind of indirectly. What does it take for people to decide that they want to do something about it? And I think it's legitimately hard for people, because a lot of you out there think that, what can I do? I mean, what are my alternatives? How can I get over this? Because it seems so overwhelming, and it's a problem that seems like it comes out of nowhere. So we like that. So add your comments. How's it affecting you? And the other thing I'd like to hear from some of you is who do you have who supports you? Who gets you? Okay, that's another thing. Even when people love you, they don't know what to do about it, and sometimes that causes conflict. They try their best to help us get through things like that, but they really don't know what to do about it. So we'd love to hear that, hear your comments. What does it mean to be afraid to fly to you? How has it affected you? Leave your comments down there, and if you're watching the replay, this thing goes out on Facebook every week, and so if you're watching the replay, we'd love to hear your comments put in there, and we'll check out the Facebook page.
I want to share I hope Marcia or Marcia from our Facebook Birds of a Feather group. You're watching. Marcia says, I want to venture out and see more of the world. And that is definitely a great reason to work on overcoming your fear of flying. Also, sure. I just put in the Birds of a Feather Facebook group our survey, because one of the things that helps is flying with others, and Capt Ron, Captain Eric, and Flight Attendant Diane in our 301 graduation flight classes. So we'll talk a little bit more about that later, but I am putting the survey into chat, and you can vote for actually more than 1 out of 10 cities if you can get there. So
okay, yeah, all right. We got a program coming up. We're going to start expanding even more. We've got some advertising planned for YouTube. We're going to invite you guys to help us out and get that up in the front of other Fearful Flyers. And part of that goal is to pick other cities beyond Boston, beyond LA and Phoenix to fly with you later on this year. And so we need to get the numbers up to get more and more people who might be interested in doing that. And without a doubt, that's the most effective thing that we do. When you say, Eric, when we go with people, or Diane, when we fly with people, it no matter who comes and what shape they're in, by the time we get done, they're doing better.
They're over a big hump.
Yeah,
it's not all the problem solved, but they're over a big hump, and it's extremely rewarding for them and very rewarding for us.
Yeah.
Transformation. I mean, some of these folks go from being teary-eyed to, when we get back, they're just glowing and smiles. Yeah. They're ready to go make another plane reservation to go somewhere. It's actually.
Yeah, and when Eric and I can stay awake on the return flight, we've been known to snap pictures of other people who fall asleep. So, but usually we have trouble ourselves staying awake.
They're both asleep.
Exactly.
I can stay awake. I cannot do it on the return leg.
Yeah, and you bet. Okay. And so let's just slide into, I want to show everybody the app. Dieter has been down here. We've been together working on intensely on this program. We got this advertising campaign that we had coming up, and we were talking, and I was kind of chagrined because Dieter kind of emphasized to me, he says, this is what we need to get people to do, Ron. And what he was talking about was getting our app. Okay, and our app. So we're calling this FearlessFlight app by Zenler. All right, Zenler is a company that we use to help interface between us and you out there, and that's all you need to know about that. And we're very fortunate because we wanted our own custom app. When you go to the App Store and you see Fear of Flying apps out there, They are so bad. And I'm not going to name any of them individually, but all they do, they have some affirmations and you can tell what the altitude you're at. You can tell, what level of turbulence is and all that. But we're talking about something that you can use that has useful information to you. And that's why we're really proud that we could do this. And we're really fortunate that we found this company that created an app for their particular platform that we as a user of their platform can advertise to you all. And this is what it looks like when you get on there. Now I'm going to try to stop my share. Well, actually what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to switch my share over to my phone and anybody.
And while you're doing that, Ron, I just want to mention a comment by Tracy, and she says, I want to feel the freedom to go and see the things on my bucket list, and Captain Eric and his nuts and bolts role is how I feel most supported, and Diane's perspective from the back. Thank you all. I love that. Thank you, Tracy.
Thank you, Tracy.
Grace.
Yeah.
Great. Tracy's a great contributor there. So, so this happens to be the app. You're looking at my phone there, and this is our FearlessFlight app by Zenler. And you saw on the previous slide, you go into the App Store and you look at Zenler, and the way you get onto this thing is you have to get something from us. And we're going to come up with some things again. We have a bunch of things here which you can see there. So right at the top is the putting mindfulness into practice. Okay. And so you can get that, and you can see down below when I select that. Now you can log into these programs on the app. On the website as well. So you can do it on your computer, but 70% of the people out there now get their internet needs met with a portable device. So we had to get with the times so that you can do this. So you can see when I select putting mindfulness to practice, now I come up with the course agenda down there. Okay, and these are all lessons. You can see this one is a really, really useful program. If you've never thought about mindfulness or meditation, if you think it's woo-woo, then you need to start out by just doing this app here. And we got some great information here. We got some sample mindfulness drills here, and talking about the way the brain works, the way mindfulness changes your brain. And that's our theme. You can't get over your fear of flying unless you change the way you think about flying. And thinking is a habit. So you have to repeat it over and over and over again to break through those old habits there. And lesson number 7 down there, you can see replacing skepticism with science. That we've actually got some stuff in here that talks about how you actually change your brain and the way the neuron pathways flow due to something called neuroplasticity. This is something that came out in neuroscience 15, 20 years ago. And it was revolutionary in that we thought that once your brain, you got into early adulthood, you were stuck thinking the same way. And through a lot of research in a lot of different areas, they've shown that we can truly change the way we think and do all that. There's an audio program down here, and there's some audio files here that you can download. So that's another thing. And the beauty of it is you can do it right through the app. So moving on, you can see down here.
And in case, hold on, Ron, just in case you're wondering, the putting mindfulness into practice, you can go on FearlessFlight.com and you can purchase it for, I think it's $25, or it's included in any level of our Fearless Flyer Club continuous training program, as well as if you enroll in the Cleared for Takeoff 201 class, you also get the putting mindfulness into practice for free. And so that's one really nice way to get started. Just go over on the website and get that program. Or Ron, you were going to mention which one?
Oh, yeah. Well, and I want to add on to what you said, and we're going to touch on the Fearless Flight Club at the end to show you graphically some of those things that Dieter just talked about. So you can look down below. You can see the one that I've got up at the top says recently viewed, and then down below I get to select the new one. So I can scroll over here. There's how to overcome your fear of flying 101. It's a real basic course there for someone who just, we have people that don't even know whether they qualify as being afraid to fly. If you fly, but you don't like it, but you can do it. Okay. Maybe you're just a nervous flyer, but we like to think we have something for everybody. If you're not totally comfortable with that, whoops. And I went hit the thing again. Okay. And then you come back here, you go scroll over there. There's the Fearless Flyer Club. We're going to touch on that one specifically. Here's our 201 course, which is up and running. And like Dieter said, when you're in that, you get access to a lot of stuff as well. Here's the big one, the Fearless Flight Kit, and I'm going to show you how you can get that for included for a very low price when contrasted with the $197 that it normally sells at. So anyway, so you got all these choices down here. We got Expert's Guide to Takeoff and Turbulence. That's an audio program there. What Flight Deck Confidential, Eric and I recorded a couple of episodes of that with talking it's just us talking about what the heck is going on during the various phases of flight that you would never know without listening to somebody who's up there talking about it. And it's got kind of a real-time flow to it. So so you get a sense of what's happening back there. And what does it do? It gives you someplace else to put your mind, so you don't have to sit there in stark terror all the time. So anyway, so that's the app, and whatever you do, get something on there so you can get this. And let's just say you did go over there and get the PMP. When you got done, yours would look like just the PMP down there. So you can look at the app to see what you have purchased and what you have access to, which is another thing, because we have people, I don't know about you, but I buy stuff on the internet and I never use it. And I forget that I've even got it. And so we didn't want that to happen. So one of the valuable things about having the app is you can see what's active and get to it. Okay. Let me stop that share and we'll go back to the group here. And we'll just talk briefly. As Dieter said, I'm gonna let him talk just a little bit about the 301 class and the email that we just sent out today.
And first I think Cindy captured it really, really well. And Cindy said, being afraid to fly means missing precious time with family and making those memories. And it means questioning what is wrong with me, as no one else seems to be afraid to fly. And it means missing vacations that everyone else is taking every year. And I mean, Cindy, you just captured it so well. And that feeling of being alone in this, right? The feeling of embarrassment and shame, that is what keeps people from, reaching out for, getting help, asking for help. And we have the big survey, the big survey that we know from over 1,000 people responding to us. The average is 10 years from the time that, people notice that they're nervous or terrified, anywhere in between, to the time that they're reaching out and, really starting to take charge of that. And
that's only about 10% of the people who do something after 10 years. The other 90 never get over it. And those are normal human behavior numbers. We just aren't creatures of change. And the sad thing is, fear of flying is one of the most successfully overcome phobias that there is out there. So if you don't do anything about it, you're definitely not going to get over. I have people that call me 24 hours before their flight. And basically they were just hoping from the last time that something would magically change. And it doesn't. And so that's a problem. So I want to put up here the next flight is going to be Boston to Baltimore on March 11th. Looking forward to going out. I hope I get to see some of my friends from last year on the flight. When you look at that email, you'll see those smiling faces. That you'll see a video that in the email we sent out today about with the people on the day that we flew, and you'll also see another video of them when we invited them on the show a week or so later on the weekly Fearless Flight live show, and they all came on and talked about both the 201 course, how it worked for them, and their experiences in the 301 and overcoming that. And I'm sad to say they've all dumped me. That's what you get. You help people over and then they just dump you like yesterday's garbage. And that's a big part of my trauma is I have to recover from being left at the altar all the time because people just quit talking to me. I'm kidding, of course, but it's an awesome thing. When I look back over the 35 years I've been doing this, you can't imagine how many people don't talk to me anymore that used to talk to me regularly. So I have to remind myself not to take it personally there. So Dieter, did you want to say something about the survey right here that you also included in that?
Yeah, so we obviously recognize that not everybody has access to Los Angeles or Phoenix, or Boston for that matter. So we actually came up, it's not on our FearlessFlight.com website yet, but I did post it in the Facebook page and the group as already. It's a survey that basically gives you the opportunity to choose one of 10 cities that we've identified. We have a lot of emails or interaction with people from those areas. So and so we basically, as little as 5 people, we would be able to come, or at least Capt Ron in that case with 5 people, to fly with you. And I already know Marcia is in Miami, and she was really itching to get the service so she can vote for Miami. And I encourage all of you to do so because, like I said, we do ask for your city and we do ask also for your state. So that means now we can actually contact you when there is 5 or more people that are in your city and that do want to fly, and we'll basically work around your schedule as best as we can, and keeping our schedules in mind. But that is one of the ways we can be a little bit more mobile and flexible.
Yeah.
But it needs your participation.
So let's talk about the past classes and how far people have driven. Y'all complained that nobody wants to be around you anymore because you make them drive everywhere in a vacation. We've had people, the farthest was Myrtle Beach. That's the farthest that anybody has driven to come to the class. I've had people who have actually flown to the class. And then we did a coaching session to get them on the airplane, get them out here. And yes, they said it really helped to fly after they got here in the class as well. So no excuses, get in your damn car and drive across the country, whatever. So anyway, all right. So we want to talk about real quick the next month's March's live coaching webinar. It is going to be on March 16th, Thursday, March 16th, and we're calling it Managing Anticipatory Anxiety. And everybody out there should sign up for this one, because if you've got any kind of anxiety, it's always about anticipating. And this is a fear of your fear, a fear of worrying, a fear of being afraid, a fear of what the feelings could mount up and result in, and you can't do anything about it. So this is going to be interesting. It's one of the things that people have requested that we talk more about anticipatory anxiety. So we're going to do that. Time 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. And don't forget out there's a time change on March 12th. And even when you don't change your clocks like we do in Arizona, we got to remember, because we got to show up earlier after that. But it's always the same time if you change your clock, 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Okay. And I want to go into the Fearless Flyer Club here, and let's see. I want to probably I should just go to the share my, this, I'll probably get lost on this one.
I think the best thing might be just share the app again.
What's that?
The best thing might just be share the app again.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Oh yeah, correct. Of course. What I wanted to do is do the comparison. Will I see that on the app?
Sure.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, Jim, Jim said, I'm still here 5.5 years later. And I just want to say, we're grateful for that, Jim, and we love you for it. So
yeah, Jim, great contributions and just an all around good guy. And I remember meeting him for the first time over in Air Hollywood, and it was fantastic. Okay, here I got a screenshot of this.
He's primarily here to stump us with questions for his own entertainment, but they're legitimate questions.
Yes.
Yeah. Whoops, went blank here. Let me go back. Okay, all right. So we're going to hit the high points of this, okay, and then we're going to wrap this up. So there's 3 levels that you can participate in. You can do the premium economy. That's $37 a month. If you just want to do one coaching session, you can do that, and you'll get the replay to that one, and that's $47 a month. But if why do that when you can do it for $37? If you don't like what you got, then you can just quit. Okay, and you save yourself $10. But $37, then we have a level at $57 a month, and then we have a lifetime VIP, of which we've had several people join that already. And probably many of you'd be better off in the long run if you did that. We have payment plans for that, and we can work with people to make it fit their budget. All right. But let me just go back to the premium. I know it's a little bit hard to see, but basically what you do is you get a monthly coaching session. You get as Dieter said, you get the putting mindfulness into practice 101. So you save $25 just by joining for 1 month there. You get you get access to the Overcome Fear of Flying 101 video course at $47, which you get that for free. So you're well over what you paid for the membership already. And then you get, if you have been a member, if you've ever taken the Clear for Takeoff 201 course, you get ongoing access as long as you're joining there. And we're going to be coming at you in the upcoming weeks, talking about what we're doing with the 201 course, the things we're adding and the enhancements and don't do that. And all the things that are going to help people not get lost when they get in there. We can keep tabs on you to a certain extent. And Dieter and I were saying, we got people that purchased the course, for crying out loud, and are not doing anything in there. And that is not good. That's not good, because if people ever ask you what you think of it, you won't. The worst you can say is, I didn't think anything of it, because you didn't have any practice in there. You got to do stuff. It's a contact sport there. Oh, come on, don't do that. Okay. And so the $57 a month, you get the things that you got in the 37, but you get the biggest thing is you get the Fearless Flight Kit, which is normally a $197 value. So you join for $57, and you can get access to the Fearless Flight Kit, and that's worth it right there. Same thing, you're going to get the content from the past content from 201 if you're active there, and then you're going to get those 2 programs that Eric and I did, the audio programs called Flight Deck Confidential Volume 1 and Volume 2. That's worth $25 a piece, and then you're going to get the Expert's Guide to Turbulence and Takeoff down there. And then of course, when you go in the VIP, you get everything that we got. And again, that I think that's a good deal for people out there who really want to get over this. If overcoming your fear of flying is a process, and if you want to get over it, you've got to commit to not just showing up today or showing up tomorrow. You got to commit to stay current. We've emphasized over and over how Eric and I, when we were actively flying, we had to go into recurrent training twice a year. Diane is active as a crew member. She has to do the same thing. And the reason we have to do that is so that things come to us automatically that are beneficial to us, as opposed to getting displaced when we're under high levels of stress. Okay. We practice the things that never happened to us. We practice in the simulator until we got sick of them, tired of them. And the reason we do that is so we have muscle memory. even in our brain. And that's what you need. You need the equivalent of muscle memory so that when you get anxious and when you get triggered by one of your triggers, you don't automatically go into the panic mode. How do I stop panic attacks? I get that question all the time. You practice when you're not in one. And what do you practice? You practice the kinds of things that we've got here that we've made available to all of you. And that's how you're going to get over this in the long term. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So what else, Dieter, did we have before we close this pop stand?
So first of all, I want to apologize to Marsha. Thank you for correcting me. Next, I didn't want to lead with that, but if of course those 10 choices aren't enough, there is at the very bottom other. So if you click on other, you can put your own city in there. I know Elizabeth, she's like, I want Detroit, and all we need is 5 people that are in Detroit that also want to fly, and then that will work, right?
We'll do it.
So
Yep.
if you have friends or know people who are nervous or afraid to fly, that would be a really good one to increase your chances there. Also, I want to just quickly point out the Cindy was asking, I'm a first class member, and but she can never get into the webinars. So I'm gonna say, just if all else fails, you always have the opportunity to email us at Capt Ron at FearlessFlight.com, or if you really need help, schedule a 15-minute free coaching call.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we really don't want that you don't access the stuff. We want you to be in it. And obviously, if technology is part of the challenge, then we'll do what we can in order to help you get through this.
Yeah, we got all the electrons we need. We don't need to save money by some people not logging in for things they're entitled to. So seriously, and if you haven't ever had a 15-minute coaching call with me, please, log into there and schedule one. You get the link and you schedule your own time right in my calendar. So, all right. We had a couple of people that this week that contacted me that were flying. Their names escape me right now. I apologize. I have one last thing. I'm going to ask Eric and Diane, since they were virtually speechless tonight. You guys got anything you want to add?
I'm all good, barring questions.
Okay, good. So here's a mystery. I got this flag from FedEx this week. I have no clue. The return address was not somebody it has an eagle on it with a snake in its mouth, and it has a prickly pear cactus underneath it. I can't tell what the bottom thing is. I don't know if it's a country flag or what it is. So if anybody knows, if anybody can solve that, Diane.
I'm just Googling it, and
I tried. I Googled, eagle with a snake in its claws. I couldn't find it.
And the winner is Jim Duke, and the answer is Mexico.
That's what I
Well, that's what I thought. I thought it was Mexico, but then somebody said, no, that's not Mexico.
Yeah.
Jim, did you send this to me?
And Cindy also said Mexico.
Okay, all right.
Mary
That's
says
terrible,
Mexico.
because
So
I was
I'm
just
pretty
down
sure
there
it's
10 days
Mexico,
ago. I
based
should have
on-
recognized it, I guess, but I didn't. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Cool. It's
and I'm going to be there. Actually, I've got a trip tomorrow, just a 2-day trip. First, I go over and back to Santa Fe, New Mexico. Then I'm overnight in Fresno. And
okay.
coming back from Fresno, and then down and back to Hermosillo, Mexico, Hermosillo.
And I'm embarrassed. I'm not going to tell anybody. I think I figured out the mystery with the Mexico thing. And I got a son who's going from Puerto Vallarta over to Tahiti next year. I'll bet he got this and sent it to my house because he's coming through for the boat, because it's about boat sized. So anyway, all right. And if that's true, I'll tell you next week. So.
Well, we know that Jim didn't send it.
Yeah, there you
It's
go.
not
There you go.
sending.
All right. All right. All right. Hey, well, thanks everybody out there. Again, it's always a joy. And if you don't get the drift, we're shifting the burden to you guys. We want to know more from you. If you're shy about coming on the screen, come to the 15-minute or the monthly coaching calls. It's a great opportunity. And we're doing more and more, and where you get to decide what it is. And I just went off the air there. But you get to decide what our topic or subject matters are and stuff like that. So I want to thank everybody for showing up tonight, and have a great week. We'll see you next week.
Bye.